So it was the Bracknell Bees and the Newcastle Vipers in the final of the 2004-2005 Winter Cup. Having played each other 6 times in league and cup action, they were evenly matched at 3 games each. The first leg was at Newcastle, and thoughts of previous games had the fans on the edge of their seats. We had a chance to speak to some of the players before the game.
Well, I'm here with player coach Rob Wilson of the Newcastle Vipers. Rob, all the way up to Dundee last night, 5-3 victory. Tell us what that means going into a non-league game, but a very important Findus Winter Cup first leg.
Yeah, you know, it's a big game for us last night. We played real well. We came out a bit slow out of the gates, but they had a good start, and then you know, basically the last 40 minutes we won 5-1. So you got to be happy with that, and it definitely makes a difference coming in tonight's game, just mentally and also to get a good skate and a confident booster.
You got all hands on deck tonight, 3 lines, a couple of pairs of D-man.
Well, we'll see. You know, Michael Tasker's probably going to give it a go, but he's hurting, and Stephen Wallace, he probably wants to play, but I don't think Wally's ready. And but you know, we got enough guns in there that we should be able to come out blazing in the first period, I hope.
Doug Teskey, obviously 40 minutes with only 1 goal against him after going down 2-0 last night to Dundee. He'll be a big part of a victory. What are your feelings about Doug in a big game like this?
Oh, Dougie's been around a long time, and you know, he's played back home in a lot of big games, and tonight is probably the biggest one he's had since he's been over here. But you know, I expect nothing but good things from Dougie tonight, just like I expect from everybody else.
Would you think a guy like Chris McAllister, 300 NHL games under his belt, a few playoff games in the NHL, can say anything or show anything to maybe the less experienced players?
Well, I just, you know, I drive with Mac, and I was coming in tonight with Mac, and we were just talking, and he's ready to go. Like, he's a real professional, and it doesn't matter if he was playing for the Stanley Cup final or the Findus Cup final or Findus Cup winter final, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter what he's playing. He wants to play, and he's a real, like I said, professional type guy. So he would love to win a trophy over here, and I think I just hope the referees start realizing he's 6'7", 6'8". When he hits a guy, sometimes, you know, they're a little bit smaller, and they got to realize it's not his hands up. Maybe the guy's head's too small.
Here with player coach Mike Ellis of the Bracknell Bees. You made that long bus ride up today in a rather wintry-like conditions, something you're probably used to back home in Canada. How do you treat tonight's game after a seemingly meaningless game against Guildford last night? Now you've got a game that means one heck of a lot.
Well, last night we tried to maintain our focus on the simple things, the defensive part of our game, but we didn't put forth the effort that we have in the bigger games. So the guys know what it means tonight, and everyone's really pumped up for the game, and I'm excited for tonight too. After
last night's loss, would you have spoke to them after the game and said, look, tomorrow night, guys, we need a better effort, or do you just wait till tonight to give them the stimulus to say we need the effort tonight?
I actually reminded them at the end of the last game that, you know, what it's going to take for us to be successful and what it's taken to this point to be successful. So the guys are aware. They're all grown men, professional hockey players, so they know what it takes to win. We've proved that. We just need to make sure that we find it and bring it tonight for starters.
Well, your team's certainly known with the European contingent for having a lot of pace, speed on the forward lines. You'll want to utilize that in the big Olympic-size ice surface. How do you get the jump on the hometown team, which tends to like the more bang and crash style of play?
Yeah, definitely our speed, our skill is probably our biggest asset. And against a team like this, we need to remain disciplined and keep our speed up, because obviously if we're moving our feet at all times, there's better chances that we get chances, but also to draw penalties too. So these guys have done very well against us this year. I think we're probably 3-3 each way, and it's going to be a great game. Two different styles clashing, and it makes for a really good game.
Here with Captain Jonathan Weaver, the Newcastle Vipers. Last night, the team went up to Dundee. You got the 4th goal, which proved to be the winner. How do you take that into tonight's game, which is the first leg of the Winter Cup?
You know, it's always nice to go into a big game with a win behind you. We know, obviously, Bracknell suffered a defeat last night, and we got a win, which, you know, turns out was a big win for us in the league. And, you know, it's always nice to carry momentum, like going into a big game, like a final. So hopefully we can continue from where we left off last night. You know, we didn't start great, but we played well after we went 2 goals down. You know, hopefully we can carry that momentum and hopefully come out with a win tonight.
Well, your role as the captain obviously has many levels of importance. What do you as captain say to the players? Do you say things, or are you more of a I'll show you on the ice, try and follow me type of a player?
Yeah, pretty much. You know, I've never been the most vocal captain. You know, I don't think there's any big secret in that, but you know, I try to go out there and play, you know, the best I can, and hopefully everyone else will see that and you know, and do their best. You know, as long as everyone's working hard and you know, doing the best they can for the rest of the team, then you know, there shouldn't be any problems.
Well, it's one of your biggest games, admittedly. A couple seasons ago in Texas, you played a game in the Central Hockey League that meant a lot. You're coming now into probably one of the most important games of your hockey career. How do you look at it from that perspective?
It's right up there. Just every game, like especially like these next 2 Winter Cups, are going to be high-intensity games, and it's you got to prepare for them and get ready to go.
Tonight, you're in the big rink. Obviously, this is probably an arena that you're not familiar with in the U.S. and Canada, the big Olympic-size ice surface. Your team has a very fast-paced team. How do you get the jump on a team like Newcastle, which tends to play more of a bump-and-grind game, and this rink doesn't do them a lot of favors?
No, it doesn't, but they got a pretty fast team themselves. They got good talent right through their lineup, so it's going to be a good game tonight. It's going to be interesting and should be a rough and tough game.
Here with Newcastle Viper defenseman Kevin Bucas. Kevin, you're getting a regular role with the Newcastle Vipers, and tonight may be one of the most important ice hockey games of your career.
Certainly. Last year I was involved in the final, but not to the same extent which I'm hoping to be tonight. So we'll just see. Hopefully I can carry on in the team the way I have been.
Well, you're out there with guys like Chris McAllister, who's played in the NHL, Rob Wilson, who's played ice hockey professionally for about 18 years, and you're fitting right in. That your confidence level, especially after last game's Man of the Match award, must be very high.
Well, it was important to stay confident all the time in myself, but now the more I get to do and the more players that I have alongside me, the easier for me, the easier it is to carry on being confident. And hopefully that's showing.
Kevin, your role as a defenseman with the Newcastle Vipers is to stay at home, watch the front of the net, and lay out the body. Will you be looking to get an early hit on somebody tonight and maybe have them looking around later?
If it's there, it's always good to get one early on, get a good bang in, but if it's not, it's pointless going looking for it, because that's when you just get pulled out of position. Just defend from the front of the net out, and obviously with some of their players with a bit of speed, you've got to respect that and just play smart against them. It's not all about looking for the big hits all the time, but there's always going to be the contact, and that's going to be key tonight. I'm
here with Bracknell Bees player, British-born Greg Owen. Greg, last game you weren't able to attend. Your expectant wife still hasn't had the baby, but tonight's game's obviously very important because you've made the trip up.
Yeah, last game was a league game, and we'd already had won the league by then. So it's a little less important for me to be there, but tonight's an important game, so made sure I'm here.
Well, I mentioned it to the other guys on your team when I spoke with Mike Rees and Mike Ellis. Last night's game was really a no-brainer. It didn't mean anything in the league because you've already won the league. Do you just wipe that off the slate and start fresh tonight, or do you have a few lingering thoughts about the team had a bit of a weak game and you need to obviously pick it up tonight?
Well, I think it's important that we learn what we did wrong last night, because obviously it wasn't a great performance, but I think that's a big motivating factor for tonight as well, knowing that yesterday we didn't have a good game, and tonight, you know, it's sort of we need to have a good game.
Well, the teams get ready at center ice. Lining up for the Newcastle Vipers. On the right wing will be David Longstaff. Center ice, Sean Johnson. And on the far left, Carl Cully, defenseman Chris McAllister. Simon Leach on defense on the right-hand side, Doug Teske in goal. For the Bracknell Bees, Lee Richardson out there with Peter Campbell. On defense is Big Tarish, and his defensive partner just fires the puck over to him, and he just sends it back. And to Tarish again. So game underway here in Newcastle. 2,000 odd fans on a very stormy night, and already the intensity is there. Has back in his own zone, Krulis all the way over to Parish. Parish up to Richardson. Richardson lost it out in front. Oh, and almost a goal there for the Vipers to start out with an early lead. But the puck corralled by Longstaff. He's on his own, but gets it into the middle. Cully with a quick shot on goal. And handled by Stevie Lyle. Stevie Lyle, a little bit jittery maybe, or just a kind of a slow, awkward shot. They're just switching up the lines and trying to match player for player. Ruggles out there with Tremblay and Tasker. Tasker just coming off an injury. Tremblay coming off of a disciplinary suspension. Played last night in Dundee and starts out with a big hit on captain Mike Rees. Now coming in the other way. Rees has got it in the neutral zone. Over to player coach Mike Ellis. Ellis and Rees, and there will be a penalty already called. And this is what they've got to watch, Spencer. The Vipers cannot afford to put people in the penalty box.
That's been really good. Disciplinary of Newcastle Vipers is often questionable at times, but oh no, it's no need as well. Another further descent penalty passed across to Chris McAllister there. It's a big occasion for Chris McAllister. It's players like him who want to settle the team down and get things really played at an even level. And if Newcastle are going to try and kill penalties for most of the game, it's going to really, really hurt them quite a lot.
Well, it happened last game. They got in trouble in the sin bin, and the veteran of NHL action, Chris McAllister, has said something rather innocuous to the referee, and now he will spend 2 plus 10 in the penalty box, so they can ill afford, with only 4 defensemen, to have McAllister sitting out for 10 minutes plus whatever time in the 2-minute penalty. They'll have to get another man in the box there. As coming over is Carl Cully. He'll serve the 2-minute penalty, and McAllister will have the full 10 minutes. There goes Cully into the box. He'll come out after 2 minutes or less if Bracknell scores, and McAllister will spend 10 full minutes in there with a rest that he probably didn't want, but the frustrated Chris McAllister, not used to the refereeing in this country, is forced to sit in there. Back to the action, Captain John Weaver, Jonathan Weaver I should say, just dumps the puck out. Mike Ellis just chips it in, where it's taken by Owen. Owen now trying to be a bit of a pest there, but Longstaff all the way down the ice. You can hear in the background noise on both sides. There's drum kits and all sorts of waving instruments from the Bracknell Bees fans and the local Newcastle Viper fans. Just hands and voices will drown those people out, because there's 10-1 Viper fans and Bracknell fans here in Newcastle. Whistle called there, Spencer. He just closed his hand on the puck. No penalty, but it's automatically blown dead.
I think really look at this big occasion in my mind as a player. Andy Carson is trying to steal a bit of limelight here, really. I think the call on Chris McAllister, to be fair, we see it happen right in front of our eyes. He wants to call a penalty like that in the early parts of the game.
Well, I'm sure we'll find that out throughout the broadcast, but here we are, back to the action. Tremblay out there. He's got to be a bit of a rabble-rouser tonight to get that pace going for the Newcastle Vipers. And all the way down his own zone is Owen. Leaves it in front there. Oh, nice save by Teskey on a great shot by McDougall. And in front of the net there is a little bit of a skirmish going on.
That's right, Michael Tasker followed back through again there, a bit of a rabbit punch to someone's head there. It's going to go a bit further as well. Rob Trumbull and Michael Tasker will be harassing and pushing people the whole game, I think, really, Bill.
Well, you can see Tremblay there. He's out there to muck things up. That's his role. He's not a purist. He's certainly not considered a goal-scoring threat, although he's had a couple of 4-goal games in this league. But all the way back to Wilson. Wilson now to Weaver. Weaver back to Wilson, coming up through the neutral zone. Just gets caught up with Ferrone and dumps it in. Into the corner it goes to Matt Beveridge. Beveridge out there with the veteran Hilton Ruggles. Ruggles loses a puck as it's bounced over. Takes a good check there. And a good fast-paced action to this game already. And back out there. He's going to stir something up is Tremblay. And Massa with it now for the Bees. He just loses a handle, and the puck shot back off the boards where Ruggles gets it. Out there with Beveridge, and Tremblay goes to the center. Good shot. And a great save by Stevie Lyle. Lyle unable to really see the shot come through. Held his ground, coming back the other way. Good backhand there by Lucas Smytel. And just past the outstretched pad of Doug Teskey. Weaver now just chips it off the puck. And Massa takes a high hit from Wilson. Coming back the other way. Puck just bounces harmlessly to Krulis. Krulis just shoots it in, where it's knocked off by Sean Johnson, and behind his own net. Player coach Rob Wilson now. 13:56 left in the first period. No score in this Findus Winter Cup first leg of a 2-game. Perone now scored a big goal last night in Dundee. Will look to put his team on top early. But certainly the Bracknell Bees, if they have anything to say about it, will just say no to that, Mr. Perone. And Longstaff going for a long skate. Winds up in his own zone. Puck knocked off the stick, but directly to Kevin Bucas, who shoots it down the ice, where it's taken by Tarish. Tarish shoots the puck right back in the middle now. Campbell with a shot, and he scores, and what a great goal. There's the celebration as Campbell just caught a rather napping Doug Teskey there with a quick shot.
I think it took a slight deflection as well there, Bill, off Kevin Bucas' leg, but it's one of those shots you can't predict. He came down there, quite speculative shot from Campbell. Wound up, took the shot, and it did take a slight bounce off Kevin Bucas' trailing leg. It's 1-0. But I think right now the action has been tremendous. Cup final action.
They'll have to watch out for him. Right now they got the bangers out there. Tremblay's out there with Ruggles and the Speedy Beverage, but coming back the other way is Massa. Massa centers the puck and coming all the way around and holding it, where it was almost converted by Aldridge. Aldridge and Massa 2-on-2, but they went around the defenseman like he was standing still. And a bit of a body check there. Could have been an interference call, but the referee let it go. And offside called on the play. So the Speedy Bees already utilizing the big ice surface, Mr. Downey. 3 to 7 days, so it certainly feels like Canadian ice hockey weather to me. But tonight it's British National League action, and Ferrone with a good check. And Ferrone, who's had a bit of a layoff himself with that injured right hand, will be a key player tonight as he needs to take the body. Coming back the other way, 3-on-2. Quick snapshot and good save on Petrichko's quick hard shot there. So Teskey looks like he's settled back in.
You can just imagine the thoughts in Doug Teskey's head there. The shot comes down and he had a quick glance down. Is it really there?
Campbell now facing off against Johnson. And puck won by Campbell, but Leach managed to get it for the Vipers. Still not out though. And Reese brings it back in, much to the chagrin of some of the local fans who... Good save there on a quick hard shot by Captain Reese. And in front, just falling, passing it with his hand. And a very excitable local crowd here. Any minor incident causes 1,700 people to get rather hyper.
It is cup final ice hockey for all kids, but I think really both teams are going to be trying and pushing it. You're seeing a lot of personal battles take place now. Paul Ferrone's going in there with Nasser as is Rob Tremblay.
Play there, managed to keep his eye on the puck long enough. And he wasn't deked out of position there. Now all the way back, coming behind his own net, is Kevin Bucas. Seeing regular ice now for the Newcastle Vipers. And puck shot in, but offside is Sean Johnson, as he'll just wait for the delayed offside. And he'll clear the zone. McAllister soon to come out of the box at 1:43. Chris McAllister had a 10-minute misconduct and a 2-minute interference call. So he'll be well rested. Oh, and a good chance there from Smytle. Spencer, I'm saying Smytle. Correct me, because I don't want to offend anybody.
The pace of this forward and the size of the ice across here, this guy can be a very dangerous player tonight.
Back to the action. Good point, Spencer. And here we go now with 9 minutes left in the first period. And Weaver just starts behind his own net. Captain Weaver now, good cross-ice pass. And just being hooked up was Carl Cully as Martin Massa with good quality play there. And Weaver with Smytle. And the Europeans very good with the stick on holding up the arm of the Vipers players. And they force the play again. So Bracknell definitely carrying the play early in the game here. Cross-ice pass, unable to convert it. And Cully starts out. Cully with his head up. Going down the wing, and he's just held up at the last moment. And wholesale change for both teams now, as Richardson comes back in on his off wing. Just being pushed off the puck there by player coach Rob Wilson. And puck cleared in the neutral zone, and player coach for the other team, Bracknell Bees, is Mike Ellis. And he's out there with big Mike Rees, and they shoot it back in. So they've got to watch this combination of Richardson, Petrichko, on the far wing, just about to convert that puck is the linemate of Richardson and Petrichko, number 14, Peter Campbell. So we've got that line straight. Petrichko, Campbell, and Richardson out there.
and unsettle them properly. Newcastle have got some great big game players as well, the Rob Trumbleys and the Paul Ferrones, that kind of player.
And those players will be the ones that the local fans will be cheering on because they're known for mucking it up. Now back to the action. Ruggles just lost the puck there at the last second, and Aldridge backhands it all the way around the board to Massa. Massa just dumps it back, and taking it and shooting it out is Tarish. Tarish now, good play. Oh, it's got to be a penalty. I don't know how that one wasn't called, but Weaver got away with a version of the great train robbery there as he hooked Smytle down, and no call. The referee not overly consistent, but we won't dwell on refereeing. We're here to watch the quality of the action of the players performing. And Ferrone, one of those quality players, will look to try and get his team on the board. Coming back the other way now. Lucas Smytle has McAllister getting ready to get back on the ice. No call there, much to the chagrin of the local fans as Beveridge went down heavily. And the referee opting to let the play go with the stick infractions and probably calling something more verbally orientated against McAllister. In behind his own net now, Lyle just shoots it off where it bounces off the shoulder pad of Sean Johnson. And Johnson out there with Cully and Longstaff again. And Longstaff fighting for the puck now. Cully breaking for the net. In front, nice play on the give and go. A good heads up play by Johnson. And a wonderful save by Stevie Lyle, keeping them at the 1-0 lead here for Bracknell. Puck shot out and out of harm's way into the neutral zone.
Justice there by both teams, really.
Well, he's letting it go, so continuity is what you want in refereeing, and for now, it seems to be going both ways for both teams. So back to the action now, and Ruggles almost created a 2-on-1, and Trumbley and Ruggles out there. Ruggles now just being held up as he's holding on to the stick, and he lets it go. Both players holding on to each other there, and the referee just lets him play. Shot in by Owen. Owen now wide open in front was McDougall, but McDougall unable to reach out for the pass and starting the other way. And head manning it. Tremblay, nice try there on the give and go, and that would have been very nifty as Ruggles was breaking for the front of the net. Tasker now in the corner, centers it to, and Big McAllister is back out there, centered it to Tremblay, but unable to keep it in. Was Big Mac, as his teammates call him. Starting the other way now, player coach Rob Wilson with a full head of steam. He'll try to go coast to coast here as he holds it up in the corner, looking for the centering pass. On his backhand now, just loses it. All the way back to the point, Bucas with a weak shot and taken deftly by Stevie Lyle as Paul Ferrone wrestles Mike Rees off the puck. All the way over to Wilson, who loses it in his skates. And behind the net now, as he heads the puck over to Beveridge. Beveridge behind his back to Weaver. Weaver being hassled by Massa. And it's a good chance for the Vipers. A rare bit of pressure here for the Newcastle Vipers in this period. And long shot from the side of the boards. And the player's just standing still as if the play was going to be called. But Smytle with a head of speed, big quick shot high up into the facial area of Teskey. And all the way back down. Krulis now in the neutral zone. Krulis just shoots it down and icing. Good pace there and a good chance for the Vipers. Now back to the action. And Tarish just shoots it behind his net where Krulis takes it. Krulis now looking for the long cross ice pass. And where it goes to Richardson. Richardson now backhands it into the defensive zone of the Vipers. And McAllister, who will definitely be well rested after that 12-minute break, just gets caught up in the skates. But Cully, turning in his own zone, heads it over to Leach. Leach now looking for the centering pass, long centering pass to Johnson, and Johnson just falls down, but no penalty on that play, and the referee lets him play. McAllister rubs his man out in the boards, but in the high slot, Parrish waiting for the puck with the stick cocked, back to Krulis, high shot, just lost for a minute there, and McAllister with a bit of a cross check and dumped out into the neutral zone. Much to the pleasure of the Newcastle Viper fans. Long cross-ice pass, Peter Campbell. He just shoots it in over the glass and out of play.
And all of a sudden, I actually scored one of the goals with Richardson that way as well last week.
Well, we'll see if the high lob shot works here tonight. For now, the high long or the low long shot handcuffed Lyle slightly, but the veteran goalie just pushes into the corner. And play come to a standstill in the corner as Tasker being held up there by Massa. He's being helped out by Tremblay, but Massa comes out with the puck. And there's speed right there as Martin Massa just leaves those two players behind and just dropped off. Oh, Smidel, as Richardson dropped him the pass. And a good little play by Hilton Ruggles there just to chip it off the board. And he's playing a little bit of pond hockey there as he's coming out. Good work by Hilton Ruggles. Tries a cross-ice or backhand pass. A testament to the quality of hockey in this country, as this is as good a game as you'll get anywhere. And back to the action as we wind down. Coming up for 1 minute remaining in the first period. 1-0 for the Bracknell Bees. And McAllister in the neutral zone just dumps it in. Hits the elbow of referee Carson. He blows the whistle, and for some reason, I don't know, Spencer, I never thought that when somebody got hurt in any sport, you're supposed to laugh at them. Well, but he's definitely taken a hard shot, as you can see. He's doubled over, grimacing. That's the biggest cheer of the night. What's going on?
The situation here would be as well, Bill, because there always is a standby referee on standby now. If he is injured too much and he can't continue with the game, you have to leave the ice and then be replaced. There's only 48 seconds ago. You might actually call the period short too early. It's maybe it's only a bit of a slight justice there came from Chris McAllister. I don't believe for 1 second it was deliberate or anything else, but other than that, it took a slight deflection off the board somewhere. But he caught a good shot right in the elbow.
And the Vipers will try and pop one in here, as will the Bracknell Bees, obviously. And just losing sight of the puck, but managing to corral it. Was number 14, Peter Campbell, as he dishes it off. And a long dump out into the neutral zone, I should say. Central zone. I thought I was somewhere in the Midwest of the U.S. Greenwich time, not Central time, Bill. And back to the play. Beveridge, cross ice. Perrone just being held up there by Peter Campbell. Back to the point now. Good shot there by Wilson, taken off the deflector. The blocker of goalie Stevie Lyle. And coming back the other way, Lee Richardson takes a hard pass, unable to corral it. And with a few seconds left, 7 seconds left, the Vipers will look up at the clock. Matt Beveridge will take one long shot, possibly the weakest shot of his career. And after one period, Spencer, 1-0 for the Newcastle Vipers.
To Bracknell Bees.
The Bracknell Bees. I was going to say the Newcastle Vipers competitors. Well, that's it. The Bracknell Bees' mission is to win all 3 trophies, and they're going for the Findus Winter Cup as the second leg of the 3 legs that they want to have. They've won the league already. Now they challenge for that Findus Winter Cup, and they're up 1-0 here as play resumes in the second period from Metro Radio Arena. Quickly back into the Newcastle zone and attacking. The puck kept in by Parrish and just chipped out, where Longstaff managed to glove it down to himself and shoots it all the way into the corner. Cully just held up there, but he managed to fight off the check. Oh, and he takes a dirty check from behind. Definite penalty on that play as Krulis just checked him from behind. Doug Teske racing to the bench, and he got the old checking from behind. It's a no-no in any league.
It's one of those nasty ones in any sport, full stop, but right when you're next to the barrier, it's very, very dangerous as well, Bill. It's one of those kind of penalty calls that the players themselves don't like, because if you're seeing a player, one of your colleagues get hit from behind somewhere, that's when somebody can get hurt. That could be a career-ending hit. I think he'll feel disappointed himself in what he's done there. You know the severity of what he has done. And a player of his level...
And then you've already committed to it. Cully didn't limp off, but they've got the power play because of it. And here we go with the Newcastle power play with Ferone, Longstaff, and Beveridge out there, with Weaver and Wilson on the far point there. He just lost sight of the puck, as did goalie Stevie Lyle, and almost went in over his blocker's shoulder. And Lucas Smittle, we stand corrected here. Sorry, Lucas, for the mispronunciations. But Smittle out there now, and very dogged determination, and Smittle just backhanding it down the ice. And his talents are on both sides of this play, defensive and offensive. Smittle, with his speed, doing a very good job here on the penalty kill. Now in behind the net, Lyle takes it. Player coach Mike Ellis just gets out of the way of Paul Ferone. And Smittle now up there with Massa, 2-on-2, Smittle and Massa. Smittle goes wide, nothing there, but he turns back and just loses it. And coming the other way, Beveridge drops it to Ruggles with a quick shot off the ankle of Mike Ellis. And that'll smart. And kept in by Rob Wilson. So Wilson now looking to pass it behind the net to Longstaff. Longstaff looking for Ruggles in front. Ruggles just being held up by Massa and working around the boards effectively. Wilson tries to dump it back in where Ruggles gets it. Ruggles on the far boards with Beveridge and Longstaff just wheeling the pucks, cycling it in that corner. Back to Weaver with a big shot. Oh, and a good stop there as Massa got in front of that. And he skates off as Smittle just chips it in all the way down the ice, and Weaver takes it. 18 seconds left in the penalty to Krulis. And a couple of good chances for the Vipers, but effectively killed so far by the Bracknell Bees. Now Wilson trying to follow his own dump in and unable to, and he just gives the goalie a little knock. And it looks like, is there a penalty being called, Spencer?
It's one of those strange penalties, Bill, because if the goalkeeper actually deflects the puck deliberately over the ice of the barrier to try and kill time, it actually is a 2-minute delay in the game penalty. And I think Stevie Lyle didn't deliberately go for that shot there because the plexiglass is quite high he went to. I don't believe it was an intentional thing, but unfortunately they've actually called a 2-minute penalty on Stevie Lyle, a 5-on-3 situation.
Wilson taking the puck, taking the draw, I should say. And back on the ice is Krulis, so they got a one-man advantage here with a full minute and 50 in that second penalty. Now just the only penalty as they're back to 4 men skating out there for the Bracknell Bees. They're in a good position there in the box formation, keeping the puck to the perimeter. Just forcing the Vipers, and they have forced the Vipers to try and dump it out. And Doug Teskey forced to race out from his own net and just shoot the puck around as he's being challenged there by the speedy number 7, Greg Owen, now behind his own net. Starting out, Captain Weaver. Weaver headmans the puck to Ruggles. Ruggles crosses the blue line. Looks in the middle to Longstaff. Longstaff just being held up and unable to convert it as the puck goes out. And right in front of the linesman, Rob Wilson, looking for a bit of a break there. But coming the other way is Petrichko. Petrichko back. Oh, and a give and go there, and almost a shorthanded goal. Coming the other way now on a 3-on-3 situation. 4-on-3 now as Weaver picks up from behind. A long shot from Longstaff and just steered to the center. Longstaff now holding on to the puck. He's looking for somebody to dish it off to, and he chips it back into the corner. And just being hassled there on the boards is Michael Tasker. Tasker out there with Ruggles and Longstaff on the power play. Puck comes back. Oh, and a bouncing puck in front, and Tasker unable to get a stick on it. And Tarish with a very awkward pass straight across his own net where it was taken, but unable to convert it. Oh, and a penalty there. And you can't be doing that when you got a penalty, Spencer. You've got the penalty and you just pull the feet out from underneath the man when the referee's 3 feet away. How are you going to get away with that?
I think that was a real frustration thing by David Longstaff. David is a great professional in the sport, and I think it was more of a frustration because his team have basically wasted a power play situation.
Bracknell player, and it's an even-handed situation.
2 minutes tripping.
Longstaff, 24-21 into the game, gets a tripping penalty and back to full strength now. As the Bees now have the power play, and Big McAllister just chips it out. He's out there with Ferrone and Beveridge. Ferrone manages to get the puck. He turns in, where he's just tripped up slightly. Cross-ice pass, Leach with a snapshot, but blocked effectively by Krulis, who goes down in the far corner. Beveridge now dumping it back in where player coach Mike Ellis gets it out there with Jan Krulis on the defensive pairing. Long ice pass from Krulis to Smittle. Smittle now centering it to Massa. Massa, a big shot there, and a good save. The 17, Mark Richardson almost converted that great three-way passing play. Ellis now, no one pressuring him, lots of time, just shoots it in to goalie Doug Teskey, looks around and just happy to just freeze the puck there and regroup.
But both teams have been very, very good at killing off. Newcastle probably get more practice than Bracknell do at killing off penalties, I think, though.
Well, they've had enough practice and they've been killing it off effectively, but they can't continue with that as Campbell now for the Bees in the offensive zone. A long cross-ice pass, good shot, and just missed the corner there. A very good low shot there from the Bracknell Bees defenseman, number 53, Mike Rees. And coming back the other way is McAllister. Now, got to watch, the Vipers are out of position. That leaves a man open in the slot. Quick shot, and a good play there by Johnson, just getting his stick to tip that puck off. And controlling it on the perimeter is Petrichko. Petrichko gets it in the corner. He looks for the centering pass. What a goal that was!
There's only a matter of time that one, Bill, as well. Textbook stuff as well, really. I mean, Newcastle Vipers were sitting there and they were playing the box very, very well. Each player working a small quadrant of the ice. But Bracknell Bees did the textbook thing of sticking a player in front of the net. In comes the pass, in comes the shot, little deflection.
For the Bracknell Bees, and in the 2-game series of the Findus Winter Cup, the Bracknell Bees are up 2-0. And that lead could be the 2 goals that they're looking for to carry through to their home ice game on Wednesday coming up, the 23rd of February. So also getting assists is Campbell on that, so Petrichko and Campbell assisting on Reeves' goal. 26:02 of the game, 6:02 of the second period. Cleared all the way down the ice, no icing. Icing waved off, and Stevie Lyle takes the puck where Tremblay gets it. Tremblay now out there with Ruggles and Tasker. And Tremblay takes a bit of a knock from Parrish, and he's just held up by Dwight Parrish. Just pinned on the boards for a second, but coming out with it on the give and go here. Good try, and a very good play by Lyle to stop that pass from Tasker as Ruggles was breaking for the slot position, coming back the other way now. Going wide with it, Aldridge. Aldridge just shoots it, cross ice pass, and flying off the ice is Cully with a nice little maneuver. Almost converting that. Now on the quick conversion coming the other way, and good.
Yeah, that was a good call by the referee there, because really, even though there was one player coming to the bench, he was banging his stick for the call. He was then interfering with play because it was 20 men on the ice penalty. Now really, it's one of those funny ones because the player coming onto the ice full of adrenaline, wanting to get involved in the play, jumped on quickly, but unfortunately the pass came across to where the bench is, and the rule being is, Bell, it's about 10 foot around the edge of the box is the safe zone. And the player coming on the ice came a bit too quick, and the player leaving the ice maybe was looking for to get involved in the play as well still, but
it hasn't completely come off. So one of the players who was on at the time, as you mentioned earlier, must serve that penalty, and that penalty be served by number 6, Richard Hardy. No name on his jersey, but we know it is Richard, so number 6, Richard Hardy, sits out as the power play, bench minor for too many men on the ice. And the power play with Longstaff out there with Perone and Beveridge. They're trying all sorts of combinations tonight for the Vipers to try and get something happening here. But again, it's the Bees. Smittle coming down with Ellis trailing. Big shot there, good save, seen all the way. Hasn't been posted yet, but they will get it up there on the board. But the penalty now being served by Richard Hardy. Approximately a minute and 30 left in that penalty. Good hit there by Ferrone on the end board. Mike Ellis taking that with no problem, the fit Canadian. And starting out the other way, and just chopped down to the ice. Beveridge chopping down Massa, and all the way down the ice, and Massa decides to go off instead of chasing that puck, and Doug Teskey clears it all the way to Rob Wilson. Wilson now backs it up, and Weaver with it. Weaver now going in, one hand on the stick, and no luck there. They're just standing him up at the blue line here. Bracknell Bees, very good defensive play in this game. Now, all the way back to Weaver. Good hard shot, and sacrificing himself there was Petrichko. Took one on the ankle and got straight back up. And
he's in pain there, Bill.
Yeah, he is, absolutely. He's limping, but he's staying out there. Heroism personified, and you can see him limping off. And he looks like he's been shot in that leg. And he manages to get off and straight to the bench to get the pressure off that leg. But the pressure coming back the other way is the Vipers shooting it in. Tasker now as Lyle tries to do it himself, and he does. And now a 2-on-1 coming the other way here. And a good chance. Oh, and a good shot by Campbell as he went for the top corner. Cully now comes back with it, going all the way into the corner. Lyle and Cully coming to meet. And Campbell just clears it out where Leach managed to corral it. And a giveaway there. Because how could he have not seen number 7, Greg Owen? He was standing 5 feet away from him. Bit of a missed pass there by Simon Leach, but they get the puck back and behind his own net. Up to David Longstaff now. Longstaff with a long pass, trying the breakaway pass to Sean Johnson, but covered effectively by big Dwight Parrish. Now Massa back out there. Massa back on the ice, taking his shift. Puck just held along the boards. And Leach's got to watch that checking from behind. The Bees are in control of this game, although
really
it
are
can go
back in there
any
again.
way. 2-0 is not a lead that you have to sit on. Definitely committing to winning this game away, and then having less pressure on them when they go home to perhaps even play for a draw and secure that cup. But as it is, there's plenty of ice hockey left. We're only 30 minutes into this 60-minute game. And the way these two teams are, we could end up with a 5-4 win for one of these two teams. But we'll see. Right now, the Vipers really haven't challenged Stevie Lyle that much. Coming in now, trying to pressure in the Bees zone. Big McAllister. And he just gives it away. Telegraphs that pass. Shot in just off the skate. Now quick shot back in again. And a couple of shots, but neither of them getting on goalie Stevie Lyle. And if the goalie doesn't have to save them, they're certainly not going to be able to score. Looks like the net is knocked off the moorings there, and David Longstaff not having a game that he's really enjoying. Spencer, he's used to putting a few goals in. It's out there. Weaver, Ferrone, and Beveridge with Bucas and Wilson on the point. Will have their hands full against the speedy group that's out there, as every line for this Bracknell Bees is very, very fleet of foot and quick of skate, as you might say. Now coming back out is Petrichko. Petrichko out there with Campbell. Campbell on the in the center, looking for the pass, unable to take it, but Parrish comes back in and just misses the far corner. And quickly over on the other side, keeping it in is Krulis. Krulis shoots it all the way down and behind the net. Delayed offside, now waved off, and Bucas having trouble with it. And again, we talked about his role in not trying to carry the puck as much, just be that stay-at-home defenseman, but he got away with one there. Parrish just takes or Petrichko just takes a little bit of a knock there. And Bucas coming in with it, backs up behind his own net, looks for the outlet pass, and a good pass to Matt Beveridge with a head of steam. Now he'll look for the cross-ice pass as Wilson starting to take a few risks early in the game here, really in the middle part of the second period already. The defense is starting to pinch forward, and it might be a bit early for that type of method. But anyways, Wilson holds his man up in the corner and managing to get the puck. And Bucas getting a little bit frustrated. So you can see that the Vipers, frustrated in this game, is not able to penetrate the net and put one on the score sheet. Will have to be disciplined here. They don't want to get any penalties. As Ferrone hits Ellis. Far pass on the wing. Big windup and a hard shot there. Just off the net. And Tasker out there on his own just gets back where he's not offside. And Weaver dumps it in. Now Big Rees with it, who got the second goal. Oh, and a good chance there. Just missed on the long ice pass to Aldridge. Could have been a breakaway situation there.
In a small building, in a small ice house against Newcastle.
Well, the big ice hasn't helped the Vipers. Oh, and a good shot. Oh, and that hit. Did that hit him in the face? It looked like it hit Stevie Lyle up in the neck area, but play goes on. And Lyle gets right back up. So the goalies are even tough in this league, because he took a high shot in the neck or shoulder area, which definitely didn't help matters, but he got right back up. Tremblay now out there, and Tremblay and Tasker getting his hands up in the face of Ryan Aldridge, and all the way back, Chris McAllister. Chris McAllister wheeling behind his own net, and he'll just hold up there and try and set up the play. Ruggles now just chipped the puck up and missed it. Was Tasker, and coming back the other way are the Bracknell Bees now. And a bit of a hassle here with, and Ruggles and Rees sniping at each other, and Leach and Massa, and it looks like the Vipers are starting to go with a little bit of the fisticuff route here to try and throw the Bees off.
Do you know, I said before that is the best we can go for here, is just go out there and try and spoil the game slightly. The thing with Hilton, Ruggles and Nass has been brewing for a few minutes. Been watching myself off the ice and away from the play. But these are sort of things now, the frustrations are going to be put across towards Bracknell Bees, and really I think Newcastle should regroup, sit back and say, okay boys, let's go and do what we do best, let's go to work, get the tin hats on and get out there and start hitting some bodies and start making this game a bit more in our favour again. Otherwise, if they're going to sit back and let Bracknell Bees come to them, unfortunately Bracknell Bees will win this game.
The Newcastle Vipers, who seem to be a little bit off their game right now, but you never know with this team. One goal will get them back into it, but Krulis here. Now Wilson pinches over and out in front. Oh, what a nice save on Smiddle's redirection. A great play there as Aldridge fired it at the net, and Smiddle just got a stick on it. Teskey, Johnny on the spot to stop it. All the way back now. In front. Oh, and Cully almost on the centering pass from Longstaff. Second time this game he's had that chance, and there's another chance on a bouncing puck in front. As the Vipers start to get a couple of chances, and well advised, Jan Krulis just fires that puck. New attitude for Carl Cully. He's been hitting a little bit and scoring a few, so he's looking for keeping a job. Back, oh, and a good shot. Quite an easy save. Ferrone didn't get all of it, and Lyle saw it right into his catcher's mitt. Coming out now is McAllister. He'll just try and dump it in and follow up on the play as he takes it away from Mike Rees. Now if he can get it behind the net, he'd have a chance. Staying in tight though is Mike Rees, and he just chips it off the board to Petrichko. And Leach is going to have to watch his activity, because Leach is going to set himself up for a penalty if he carries on with that dirty tactic. He might want revenge, but there's no sense getting revenge and 2 minutes to go with it. It's not a very tasty combo. Weaver now chips it back to McAllister. McAllister headmans a puck, and a speedy Paul Ferrone, and there's definitely a penalty. And
That's
Paul,
debatable penalty shot as well, I would say, that one, because Paul Ferrone was clear through there, got the good pass. The question is, who do you call the penalty against? Because in my mind, both players actually pulled Paul Ferrone back down again there. So he has called a holding penalty.
Justified, Spencer, as he had to haul him down, or he would have had the chance. And Wilson now, just a shot in, a good save there. And it's knocked down as Rees knocks down Johnson, and Johnson on his butt there. And puck will be brought out outside the zone. Johnson unfortunately had the puck underneath him.
It's one of them situations there, Bill, when I think really referees should blow the whistle a bit quicker, because Johnson got a little shove in the back of his back somewhere, but it's a bit of a dangerous play really towards the barrier.
Setting it up, they'll try again. They've had plenty of opportunity, but unable to get that first goal. Weaver now looking for the big shot. Over to Rob Wilson. Wilson unable to corral it to Longstaff. Longstaff just holding it up on the boards. Backhands it into Johnson. Johnson now back to Longstaff. Over to Wilson, who golfs one in and just taken. And again, Stevie Lyle, he's having a heck of a game. Minute 18 left in the penalty to Krulis. Vipers on the power play. They definitely need a goal here in this period to get back into this contest, in this two-game aggregate score Findus Cup Winter Cup final. And here we are with the play as Ferrone. Oh, and in front of the net, unable to convert it was Beveridge. And puck coming back to Wilson. Wilson now, there's the chance there for the Vipers to get a needed goal. Beveridge holding it up, just a little shot in. Not much on that one, a bit of a wasted shot there. But back to Weaver. Weaver into Beveridge. Oh, and he had a chance to convert it. Fans calling, shoot, shoot. Back to Wilson, over to Weaver, big shot. And a good save there. And cleared down the ice, just killing off the play in the period. Now Ellis shoots it all the way around, and watch out behind you, Simon Leach, as the sneaky Bracknell B player looking for that breakaway pass. Coming up with it quickly here is Owen. Owen with the puck now up to Campbell. Campbell in the Viper zone looking for the cross ice pass, and a quick give and go. And Owen just didn't get the handle on that. And the Bees almost made it 3-0 with 2 minutes left coming up. Good shot and good action there in this contest.
Much better power play there by Newcastle Vipers, Bill, because you know, really when in the past few ones they haven't been pushing on too hard, but all of a sudden now the Newcastle Vipers have really pushed back on the last power play and almost like scoring a few occasions. I believe they would have scored if it wasn't for the case of oh, what's happening here? Off the play side, there's been a bit of pushing and shoving machine again. The Hilton Ruggles situation with Nasser.
So we're back to the action here as McAllister with the puck shoots it in the neutral zone, and Cully with it now as he starts out and dumps it into the zone there as Smiddle's got it, and Smiddle with it all the way around, just shoots it off but kept in. Vipers here counting down with a minute 41 left in the second period. They're down 2-0 in this game, but they'll look for that much needed goal before the end of this period. Behind the net, Longstaff just tried to get it, and he's got to watch there as he's getting frustrated, David Longstaff, as his team are unable to convert.
But Newcastle starting to come back a bit more now, start to capitalise on some of these earlier frailties.
Well put, Spencer, and ticking down, 1:20 left here as Weaver gets it, and he wheels inside of the Bracknell zone. It's Beveridge now. Puts it back to Weaver in the corner to Ruggles. And just in front, and I don't know where that one ended up, but Lyle with a quick heads-up move managed to one-hand it away. And the Vipers with a little bit of pressure here. Now Beveridge turns into neutral zone, just dishes it off to Ruggles, but he gets his own pass, but he gets it back to Ruggles. So Ruggles now just being held up slightly, and Ferrone with it. Ferrone in the B zone, has less than a minute in the period here. And lots of skirmishes going on. These players looking like they're getting a little bit frustrated with the slowness of the game. And the referee blows play dead, so 31.5. Vipers look like they got a little bit of a bee in their bonnet.
Well put. I think they're going to finish off the game now, 21 seconds to go in this period. Get it off, and hopefully no more goals scored against Newcastle Vipers in their point of view. And then going forward to come out here in the third period and start to capitalise on some big hits, I think, really.
Long high shot. Doug Teskey forced to duck on that one. And an even longer offside pass. As Longstaff not really concentrating there.
Rob Trumbull, some big players out there who really want to start taking control, and they'll be feeling frustrated, Bill, they will.
Well, as we wind down the end of the second period, 2-0 for the Bracknell Bees, still unable to penetrate the goal of Stevie Lyles. These two teams skate off. We'll have a well-deserved break here, get ourselves back together for the third period of this critical first game of the Winter Cup final. We'll see if the Newcastle Vipers can get back in this contest. They certainly don't want to go to Bracknell with a 2-goal disadvantage. As it stands right now, they are down those very 2 goals with McAllister wheeling back in his own zone in Winter Cup final action here, and it certainly feels like winter in this part of the world as the snow was blowing, the wind was up.
Wednesday night's game more in favour of the Vipers, and it should be the case.
Good shot, good save. Mike Ellis will definitely take 2-goal lead back to his home rink, and it'll be 3 goals if they don't watch out there, as both Leach and McAllister.
But to go out there and start hitting the body and start working like workman-like performance.
Well, that performance has been a bit lackluster. They've had a couple of good chances, but nothing to really write home about. And now 2-on-1 coming back the other way. Some nice moves there by Richardson as he deked Rob Wilson out and almost went in unabated towards Doug Teskey. Now dumped back in and shot down in behind his own goal. Rob Wilson trying to get his Newcastle Vipers on the board here by head-manning the puck to Jonathan Weaver with a great move and a big shot. Good save, Stevie Lyle. And also Johnny on the spot there with Stevie Lyle as he just corralled the puck as it came off the boards. And starting out again. No, kept in by the Newcastle Vipers in front. Oh, and Lyle just chipped it off, and Tasker is unable to convert that loose puck. Coming the other way is Smittle. Smittle with a good hard shot. And just taken as Massa was coming in. Taken off the blocker by Doug Teskey. Now Mike Ellis in his own zone. Just retrieves the puck, shoots it in, and Tasker with a wrist shot. And the Vipers electing to get as many shots on goal as they can. They know if they don't shoot, they don't score. And out there again, Leach and McAllister. Leach now headmans the puck into the center ice area. Coming out of his own zone, Tasker. And just goes in to the penalty box area. A few of those old guys there, they don't seem to know that they almost got hit in the head. Well, it depends on old man weather and old man winter, because the Winter Cup might be a foul trip down for the Newcastle Vipers. Doug Teskey racing out of his own net just cleared the puck off as he is being challenged. And coming back in their own zone now. Tremblay's back out there. Tremblay hasn't seen much action in the second period, but he's back out there. And a good body check. And laid offside, but right back at it. Here's Tremblay, who looks like a man on a mission out there. And another good body check. And coming out of their own zone, 2-on-2 now. There's the Bees with Aldridge just losing the puck in behind the net. And Owen challenging Big McAllister, but unable to corral it. And taking it out is Tasker as the local faithful start out with the Viper cheer clap scenario, answered by a very loud drumming Bracknell B contingent. And there's Cully. Cully almost getting that chance off the boards. And Stevie Lyle just chips it off into the corners. David Longstaff held up by Captain Mike Rees of the Bracknell Bees. It's Rees for the Bees. And behind the net now is Mike Ellis. So the two Mikes out there and the two Mikes up here trying to keep busy. Mike and microphone as Mike Ellis coming up. 3-on-2. This holds it. Drop pass. Nice shot there by Campbell. Campbell unable to get it on net and just knocked down there. I don't know what happened there, but
I didn't see the Bill. He looks like he's been shot by a sniper there, but I think it could be either a distance stick or he was flicking the puck in the face there, because he went down very quickly holding his face. I don't think anything malicious took place there. Could have been a stick from one of the players taking a slight deflection off his own shaft, catching the mouth.
Tremblay pleading his case out there, heads off, and the puck now in the corner as Bracknell penetrating the Viper zone. Good hit by Ferrone there as he hits Massa. And just starting out again is Tasker, but he backs it up, and a bad play there as a giveaway. Tasker now. Oh, and that was hit out of the air in a high stick. And Bucas making sure he keeps the front of the net clear. And there's Wilson.
It's like we're saying earlier.
Vipers are getting a little bit ticked off
right,
here.
That's right. It's always good to protect your goalkeeper. It's an unwritten rule, I thought, you don't run anywhere near the goalie. The shot came in quite high, and the sticks did come quite high with the goalie too. But it's good seeing the players who were involved there. Rob Wilson, player coach, sticking up for his players. They have called a penalty, looks on Kevin Bucas, but I don't think it was a called penalty really.
Roughing call on Bucas there.
He was defending his goalkeeper, that's all he was doing.
The Vipers at 14:44 left, trying to kill this penalty off. And the powerful Bees would be happy with a goal, but they'll also be happy just to have 2 more minutes of play where they hold that 2-0 lead. Now shot in. Mike Ellis just corralling it in the neutral zone. And delayed offside would have been called, but it wasn't, as it was shot all the way down the ice. Stevie Lyle corrals the puck here in Winter Cup action. Newcastle Metro Radio Arena, home to tonight's game. And the local team down 2-0 to the very, very talented Bracknell Bees, the current league champions, if they've wrapped up that title as they look for their second trophy of this season. And good hit there by McAllister as he gives Petrichko a bit of a shot. And coming back, and a long shot. Long distance shot there. And Johnson and Ellis just get tied up a little bit, but nothing going on in front of the net.
Whitley Bay, which is an old, let's say not as prestigious a place as this place could be.
Well, that was rather eloquently put, because I've seen Whitley Bay firsthand, and it's a bit of a worn out rink, and there's another penalty being called. And referee Carson calls a slashing call, and the Newcastle Vipers will be shorthanded once again.
It's frustration time again. You can see it setting in now. There's certain players who know they're ready for their game. They know what they're about, like the Michael Taskers, like the Rob Trumbleys, like the Kevin Ducases, and they're finding that they can't enforce their part of the game. And they're getting a bit frustrated, the little chops, little slashes. And Carson's seeing everything. He's calling everything as well, because things aren't being let go.
Well, 6:20 gone, 46-20 of the game. Tasker with a 2-minute slashing penalty. And back to the power play advantage is the Bracknell Bees. This will suit them well. They'll just gladly take 5-on-4 action and just kill 2 more minutes of this game.
20 seconds.
So here we go.
2-0.
Coming up for 13 minutes left in the game. And the Newcastle Vipers aren't doing themselves any favors. And the crowd wanted a penalty there. Longstaff simply tripping over Lyle's stick. And the Viper fans will take anything right now, but there's a good shot. Oh, there's a lucky shot.
Oh, nothing Doug Teskey could do with that one, Bill. Took a deflection, a bit like the first goal they scored, but a lot shorter range. Took a horrible little deflection off somebody and bounced over the back of Doug Teskey. You can see the Bracknell fans there clearly enjoying the performance now. It's now a 3-0 game. This looks to me all wrapped up for tonight, I think, really.
Back to the action. Puck being ready to be dropped here at center ice. And Bucas just going to dump it in. Clears down the ice. Oh, the door actually comes off at the penalty bench. Now, I've seen I've seen glass come off, Spencer. I've seen goalposts come off. I've never seen, and I am going to laugh, I've never seen the door in an ice rink actually get knocked off.
Yeah, we've got the cheat to call Whitley Bay names as well, eh? It wouldn't happen down there. Those
Buke,
doors are made out of concrete in Whitley Bay, I tell you.
Kevin Buke is a big guy,
Well,
and he hits hard. But
Kevin
I've
the Tank.
I've never seen anybody hit somebody. He wouldn't even hit him that hard.
What do you
The
do now?
door has gotten off. The Newcastle Vipers, both teams played last night, so there's no excuse for having that game before a game scenario. But the Vipers, Big Wilson now with a good shot right through the 5-hole. That was a goal for the Newcastle Vipers, and it gets them back in the game anyways, Spencer.
Bill, it was a great shot from the point there by Rob Wilson. You know, this guy is leading by example, getting a game on scruff his neck. And we said earlier on, Newcastle Vipers practice that when they do turn occasionally. That's what they do practice all the next goal is so vital that both teams now to go 4-1 or 3-2. It's game on now.
Absolutely. Well, big shot there by Rob Wilson. Nothing goaltender Stevie Lau could do on that as he was trying to move over. It just basically went through the 5-hole. The full credit for this shot. Fantastic shot. That's their bread and butter play. He's getting that puck back to big Rob Wilson. And now coming back the other way. Newcastle Vipers look hungry now. And this is often what they do. As soon as they score, they seem to get the adrenaline. And they come right back and try and not this, get another goal, I should say. They won't knot it up, obviously, because they're down by 2. But they'll certainly get closer to it. And that goal scored by Rob Wilson, assisted by number 11, Matt Beveridge. 47-11 of the game, 7-11 of the third period. There will be no overtime or shootout in this game because it's a two-legged affair. Tremblay now, as he's got an opportunity, just dumps it in front. Oh, that puck just slowly went all the way on goal. And Tremblay just getting held up there. McAllister now just shoots it back in. Big Tarish with it, the big American-born defenseman. Knocked off slightly by Leach. Just shoots it on goal where it's taken, and Tremblay coming back. And Tremblay just dumping it in and puts himself offside, and good call on the play there by the linesman.
Great call by the linesman.
Resilience here. But right now they look fine as Smittle comes back in. And they've got to watch Lucas Smittle because he can definitely score, but coming out, but on his own, Longstaff. And Johnson just held up. No call as all 3 forwards for the Newcastle Vipers look at the referee.
Oh, I see that off the play there.
There's a penalty.
Off the play, I've seen a very unconscious by David Longstaff. I don't know if you caught what on the shot was there, but David Longstaff had a bit of a clash with, was it number 16, Richard, I think it was.
Richard Hardy.
Was it Richard Hardy?
6 or 16.
It looks to me that he's not. It's young Lee Richardson.
Sorry.
It looks to me like the player was going towards David and maybe he's caught him on his ankles.
And Wilson on a very rare forechecking situation. Wheels around in the neutral zone now, coming back with it. A quick transition as Owen shoots it behind the Viper net. And Weaver with it now. Just dumps it out into the neutral zone. So Krulis, number 3 for the Bees, just hands it off to 44 Ellis. Ellis loses it. And shot back all the way as Johnson, who was the tackled player, you would have thought would have been the one who retaliated, but Longstaff in his frustration just kicking the feet out of from underneath Richardson and drew the 2-minute penalty. Tried the long breakout pass, good recovery there, and shot all the way back down the ice as Wilson just held up Petrichko, and then Weaver managed to clear it out. Now Ruggles knocking down Stevie Lyle. And I don't know what's going on here, but there's a bit of circus on ice, and the Viper players are definitely getting frustrated. And this thing could break out into a bit of a barn burner here if they don't watch out. A good shot and a goal there, number
Tremendous
17.
goal by Richardson there. It was a good goal. Just back to the points before we go over the goal there, Bill. I think first of all, the penalty call on David Longstaff for interference tells me one thing and one thing alone. The referee did not see it. He's turned around, he's seen a player lying on the ice and thought, oh, something's happened there, I'll call a penalty, I'll call interference. Because that's certainly what it was. A goal there by number 17, Richardson.
Yes.
Great goal, but it's starting to get a bit bitey now, a bit niggly.
Well, Lyle with a little bit of the dramatics, but hey, as they say in Hollywood, that's entertainment, and that's why we're here to watch this entertaining type of game. Puck just hit off the high stick, and Carson just calling it down as it was knocked out of the air. Mike Ellis turns in his own zone. Newcastle now trying to keep the puck in. The power play goal is scored there by number 17 Richardson, assisted from Tarish and 47 Ryan Aldridge, and that goal scored 50-54, 10-54 of the third period. Power play goal, and puck shot all the way down the ice.
They're not getting the run of the green, they're not getting the shots on net. One thing they can do though, and what they can make is a good effort for themselves as well, is start putting huge effort in, start bossing these players now, and let them know, all right, you've won this one, but come Wednesday, coming down to Bracknell, we're going to show you a real game.
Oh, fanned on that pass over, the puck was just fluttering. And a 2-on-1, Smittle, all on his own, and what a shot. Now that is a quality goal. He put that puck where Grandma keeps the cookies in the top shelf, and it's now 5-1 for the Bracknell Bees.
You will see not a better goal all year, no matter what ice hockey league you're watching, in what part of the country, what part of the world. To me, that was what a quality goal from a quality player. To put the puck in the top corner from that angle on Doug Tessie's catch side is no mean feat, believe you me.
Absolutely well put, Spencer. We talked about Smittle's ability all night. It was only a matter of time before he scored a goal, and what a goal he has scored here. And the Bracknell Bees with a commanding 5-1 lead in the first game of this two-leg Winter Cup final will be very, very disappointed if they haven't already got the engraver to start putting the B on that cup. Well, back to the action now, and you can see that the Newcastle Vipers are starting to take a few cheap shots here. They're definitely getting frustrated. They've got to get a goal back to make it 5-2 and go down to Bracknell with the hopes of having a 3-goal situation. And Ruggles there, now it is getting dirty in front. Oh, that was a good chance from Weaver pinching in. And the Vipers are going to have to be careful they don't get caught up here, because they definitely could be putting themselves into a bit of a situation. That's Ferrone there. Now bodies are starting to fly. It wouldn't hurt the feelings of any fans if we saw a little bit of the rough stuff. We all like to see a bit of a brouhaha. And there's Ruggles. Him and Rees not having a good time. And a penalty being called here is Rees and Ruggles. Now Wilson
coming through again
there.
now. Rob Wilson, Paul Ferrone, and then Michael Tasker, and even Hilton Ruggles. They're all looking for it. The only person out there who would probably not throw a few punches is probably number 14, Jonathan Weaver. But he's a lover, not a fighter from what I gather. But certainly look out there now. And I said earlier on, tempers are starting to flare now. Newcastle Vipers' frustrations are starting to show. And Newcastle are going to do a damage limitation situation now, Bill. Hopefully try and sneak some goals back in and take away this 4-goal lead that Bracknell Bees have got for Wednesday. But what they are doing, they're telling Bracknell right now, we're coming to your barn on Wednesday and we're going to bring the game to you. You are not going to sit back, because Newcastle Vipers cannot out-hockey Bracknell Bees. They can't do it. The ability, the levels of skill is not there. One thing that Newcastle Vipers can do is out-hit them, outrun them, and pretty much bully them off the ice.
Well, that might work when you've got an opportunity to do it with a lead, but the last thing you need to do is put more men in the penalty box. That's exactly what they've done. Is Hilton Ruggles now will have a 2-minute rest, 49-17. He gets a 2-minute slashing penalty on which should have been penalties on both sides, but referee Carson, he sees what he sees, and we have to go with it. He's the policeman out there. Smittle now. Puck over into the, and that was just about shot in as McAllister. He just manhandles the player down. And I don't think what the Vipers are looking for here will happen. There's not too many fighters on that Bracknell side, and that's perhaps why they are the league champions. They've been sticking to matters on the ice and putting the puck behind the opposing goaltender. And that's why they're up 5-1 with very disciplined hockey. And Leach is going to go off now after he high sticks Smittle. And he pleads his case to the referee down in the box, arms open wide. But Simon Leach is not known as the cleanest player in ice hockey either. And he's going off.
Bill, wouldn't you think really for this kind of game plan, I think 5 minutes to go in the game is a bit too late in the day for it really. Because
getting 4 minutes.
Getting a 2 plus 2, yeah. It was a high one, you're right.
Well, if you had a pound and you wanted to make a good bet, you could bet that Bracknell will get another goal in this game because they got a 2-man advantage for a minute. And they also got, and there's a big penalty coming up there, a roughing call against Wilson. He's got to watch out here because he might just draw 10 minutes, and they've got to watch that this doesn't carry over to the next game. The Newcastle Vipers are going to have more guys in the sin bin than they'll have on their own bench if they don't watch it.
Again, down to Rob Wilson. Rob Wilson's player coach. He's probably feeling the frustration of anybody else tonight. Player coach and also an owner of Newcastle Vipers as well. And I must say though, the fans are shouting cheat, cheat, but in my mind, and I'll support them, the player every single time. Rob Wilson did elbow the player there. He's calling a roughing penalty. I'll probably call interference if he's not, but that to me was sheer frustration for a player who's just at the wit's end of what he's gone through tonight.
Looks like the call board at the airport, the next flight takes off at 71:58. You got 3 penalties for the Newcastle Vipers. We'll give you the rundown on those in a minute. As it stands right now, shorthanded for 2 minutes. Newcastle Vipers out there on the power play, 17, Mark Richardson. Back to the point. Number 27 with a good shot, nice save there as it goes over the net. And the play just kind of went in slow motion for a second. Another 2 minutes.
Just spotting from the bench here as well. Rob Wilson's shouting and bawling because his penalty wasn't being counted down on the clock. It's just started then now, but originally his penalty started 2 minutes from, probably for a good minute and a half. They've got a very valid point here because Rob Wilson's penalty had been put on the scoreboard, but it starts stagnant for probably a good maybe minute or so of play before it started counting down. Now it says 139, 138, but it's probably a good minute missing on that game as well, Bill.
Well, they have made some kind of error, but back to the play here, and this will be an extended power play. Maybe it's the bonus situation. A big shot, oh, and that comes off the skate of McAllister. Longstaff now tries to dump it out, and he does. Perhaps referee Carson awarding the bonus penalty time situation here, which is unknown in ice hockey, but tonight, Rob Wilson spending some extra time. He's trying to yell through a very narrow crack in the plexiglass. What's going on? He should actually be yelling at the guys next to him, but they can't do anything about it as they follow the lead of the referee. So back to the 5-on-3. Big shot, oh, and committing himself, Captain Jonathan Weaver, and that's the type of effort the Newcastle Vipers need to put forth all game, not just here in the late part of the third period. A rare icing call on a 2-man short situation in order to not have a goal scored against them on a 5-on-3 situation. Linesman just waving the Bracknell B player out of the face-off circle to the right of Stevie Lyle. And it comes back to Jonathan Weaver. A high shot, nicely played off the blocker. Stevie Lyle has been solid all night in net. Certainly would be one of the candidates for man of the match. Lucas Smittle, another one. He gets the puck over to Ellis. Ellis looking for Krulis. Krulis now sends it over to Smittle. Smittle will be looking for that open shot to Krulis. Krulis now quarterbacking this on the power play. Over to Smittle. Good shot and save. And that's not a rare good save for Doug Teske, but it is a good save that he needs to feel good about the action. As the Bracknell Bees are going to head down south, down the M whatever it is, home tonight in their coach. And they're going to feel pretty darn good about the game Wednesday night because they're going to go into that with a 3 or 4 or possibly a 5-goal lead depending on what happens here as play winds down in Winter Cup action. First game of a 2-leg series and a grab there by Wilson, and he just gets away with it. Didn't pull the player down, so the referee doesn't make any call. And McAllister hits Krulis along the boards and coming back again in the neutral zone. Jan Krulis has had a steady game back there. He's played so well. Next game they might allow him to have his name on the jersey. And now Smittle along the boards just dumps it in. And Rob Wilson out there with Longstaff and Ruggles just going to try and do it on his own as he's got 5 guys to go through. Good effort there. But knocked off the puck. Ruggles goes down, but no call there. Ruggles looks like he was going to skate over and body check the referee on that. He was so frustrated. Puck shot in here as we're winding down in this opening game of the 2-game Winter Cup final. Metro Radio Arena is the home for this game. Myself, Bill Flower, and Spencer Downey bringing you the action on a chilly, chilly winter night. A rare night in this part of the world where you can talk about lots of snow. And here's a breakaway on the play. Breakaway has Ryan Aldridge on the far side over in front. And behind the play, it looks like Tremblay is trying to get Rees going, and Rees won't have any part of it. Now Tremblay lost the handle there, and he's taking a bit of the flack from Rees, is saying, I'm not going against you. We're up 5-1, so it's too bad for you. Tremblay looks through his legs. There he goes. Tremblay looking for a bit of the business, but he wasn't going to bite on it. Was the ever-present captain of the Bracknell Bees with a minute left. Mike Rees wasn't going to get involved in that situation. And McAllister now with a big shot in, and because the goalie.
I think Rees really thought, I know what your plan is here. Trying to get involved in a fight somewhere isn't going to happen.
Well, Trummer likes a good fight, but he won't get one tonight. And as they go down to the play here, Smittle with another shot on goal. Good attempt there, and Paul Ferrone starting out now, trying to get it out of his own zone, but unable to. And Ellis with it all the way across the ice, unable to corral that puck. And Big Mac gives a high hit. And the Vipers just trying to vent a bit of frustration with a few hits here. Behind the play, Wilson having a little bit of an argument with the Bracknell B player. And with 17 seconds left, Petrichko coming down with a streaking teammate. Oh, good play by Wilson. Wilson just takes out Petrichko. A very frustrated Rob Wilson tonight, as the Vipers are going to go down 5-1 to the Bracknell Bees. And it could be an exciting contest next Wednesday as they travel down. And Wilson, both teams out on the ice here. Wilson taking exception, getting his hand high up in the face of number 25, Matis Petrichko, and perhaps there's some animosity from a play or an infraction that wasn't visible to any of us. Rob Wilson, very, very upset. And the Viper fans, as they get ready to line up for the traditional handshake, Bracknell Bees fans, I should say, very pleased that they made this trip all the way up to the land of the Geordies as the two teams shake hands at the end of the game. And Wilson refused to shake the hand of number 25, Matis Petrichko, so there's definitely some bad blood there. And Mr. Petrichko better have a little bit of radar in the back of his helmet and jersey in the next leg of this game, because Rob Wilson just might remember him, whatever happened there. The sponsor, man of the match, spirit of the game, and an obvious choice, if I was to choose, would have been that number 32, Lucas Smittel. Absolutely the most talented player on the ice, bar none. Perhaps teammate Stevie Lyle would have something to argue about that, but Lucas Smittel looking like he's playing in a league of his own tonight with what I would definitely describe as one of the best goals I've ever seen. And as they skate towards their fans, the drums are pounding and the banner is up. And Jonathan Weaver getting that award for the Newcastle Vipers, but that'll be a very bitter taste, a bittersweet award for Captain Jonathan Weaver, as there's a raucous of boos, and that definitely is not directed towards the players. I can tell you that's directed towards Mr. Carson, who certainly is not going to be held in high regard with the local fans here. But the fans, ever faithful, expressing their appreciation of the Newcastle Vipers as the lap of honor, as it's known, is being conducted. The Vipers clapping, receiving applause and cheers from their local fans here, but they'll need a lot more than those claps and cheers as they go down to the very icy confines of the Newcastle, or of the Bracknell Bees arena.
5-1 against Newcastle Vipers. What's your first thoughts then?
Well, we stayed really disciplined and we tried to stay out of trouble. That's not our style to play the physical game, so we just played smart, hard, kept our speed up, and it paid off tonight.
I was quite surprised watching the game that Newcastle played the physical stuff towards the end. I always thought the start of the game and started at the beginning of the game would unsettle you more.
We were honestly surprised. We thought that they would come so hard in the first 10 minutes, and then it turned out they played a little bit more of a passive system. But towards the end there, they're a really tough team to play against.
I know as well that this ice rink certainly suits your team's style and your team's ability more than Newcastle's. But in the same way, the Bracknell ice surface at John Lake Centre suits Newcastle's styles more.
Yeah, well, we can't take them lightly. They've taken points from us in our building this year, and they're such a team of gamers. All the guys show up for the big games. We've known that over the years. The Newcastle guys are always like that. So we need to be at the top of our game, and hopefully we can come out on top.
There's one thing we spotted tonight as well, Mike. Your team mentioned before discipline. Your team seem to play very, very structured as well, though. You stick to your game plan. Some great performances there by I think is it number 32?
Smiddle, yeah.
Smiddle as well. Very, very fast guys. Some great shots he played there, and also Stevie Lyle had a great game tonight as well.
Yeah, Stevie came up big. He's been awesome this year and really, really steady. And Lucas is a gamer. He's one of the fastest guys I've ever seen, and he seems to get into the openings all the time. Great player.
So going into the game on Wednesday now, obviously Newcastle are going to play away to Fife on Tuesday night as well, which could be a bit of an advantage to yourself too. But going to the game Wednesday now, what do you expect from Newcastle Vipers down in Bracknell on Wednesday evening?
I think because of our rink being a bit smaller, I think they'll stick to their physical style, because I think they were getting results in the mid to late section of the game. So we'll see, but we're going to be prepared for the physical game that they usually bring.
Thanks, Mike. Great performance tonight, and good luck for you on Wednesday as well. Cheers,
Thanks a
mate.
lot. Take care.
Well, Rob, that's the first leg of the final out of the way now, and you find yourself 5-1 down. What's your initial thoughts, mate?
Oh, I'm very unhappy, obviously. Not to put blame anywhere. I'm not going to do that. But we probably had a lot of control of the hockey game. We didn't score when we needed to, and it kept them alive and feeling good about themselves, and they capitalized on their chances. And that's the way it goes.
Speaking to Mike Ellis a few moments ago, Mike said that he really thought that this ice surface really complements his team more, and the bizarre situation that the Bracknell ice surface complements your team more as well. He was quite surprised that we went out there hitting people a lot harder in the first 5, 10, 15 minutes of the game. He said he was ready for it. He really thought Newcastle could be out tonight and really enforce that part of the game early on.
Yeah, well, we tried, and that was our plan, but Matt got 12 minutes in penalties in the first minute and a half in a final. Just blows me away for pushing the guy's stick out of the way. It's amazing to me, but like I said, I'm not putting blame, but a minute and a half into a final and there's a stick, you knock a guy's stick out of the hand, you get 12 minutes for it. It's disgraceful, but whatever, these things happen, but we wanted to, and then obviously, we had to play certain guys the penalty kill, and we kind of ran out of gas a bit.
Some of the penalty calls were pretty bizarre. I think the one on David Longstaff towards the end there, that called interference. I actually seen what took place, what happened from both sides of the fence, but I think really the referee could not have seen that because it wasn't interference and something else took place instead. And in my mind, the referee missed a lot of things tonight and called things he didn't really see, and he was called other parts as well. I know you can't obviously comment on those things, that situation, but it didn't help your team with the short bench a great deal, did it?
No, I was very unhappy when it was 3-1. David gets tripped behind their net, and they come back down, score, make it 4-1. And that was a killer in the game. We were having momentum, and I don't know how he didn't call that call. He was watching it, and he let it go, and he's called so many other ones. But again, I don't want to put blame on things. We got obviously a huge uphill battle now.
I mean, really now, Rob, it's only halfway done. The job's halfway over so far. So to draw a line into tonight, looking forward now to Wednesday. You've got a tough game away to Fife on Tuesday night, first of all, which isn't helping your cause a great deal. But also to go to Bracknell, a lot smaller ice pad. We've already got Mike Ellis saying there that he's aware that Newcastle's a very, very workmanlike team, and he's thinking that Wednesday the team going down there and knocking them about a fair bit and put them off the game plan. What's your thoughts on Wednesday night?
Well, actually, he's right. I wanted to make sure this game was close. I wanted to, if we came out of here tonight at home with a tie, I would have been happy, because I think he's right on what he's saying about this. This ice does suit his team, and their ice suits our team, and we've actually played very well down there this year. And like I said, if we had come out here with a tie tonight at the start of the game, I'd have been over the moon, because I really think we'd be in with a huge shout down in their rink. Now it's obviously a massive uphill battle.
Rob, you've got a team full of characters and a team full of big game players as well. And in the competition in the past 2 years, you've won it on 1 games as well. You've gone there underdogs both last year and the year before that, and you've managed to lift from the Flinders Cup 2 years in a row. This fixture and this final is by no means over.
Well, the first period's going to matter. If we can all go out there, get 1, maybe even 2 goals in the first period, then all of a sudden, it's going to be a totally different fixture. But we have to score first. It's a matter of the tie. We have to score first, a matter of the tie.
Rob, it's been a long night for you. Thanks for your comments. I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday night, and hopefully things go back in your favour again.
Thank you very much.